Hi students, let's discuss the lesson 3 grammar exercises of your 12th standard textbook, say chic. So the first exercise, they want you to put the verbs in the past perfect tense. They have given you an example, decorate, to decorate, and they say Aarti had decorated the room. So first of all, you should know the formation of the pluscuparfait, where you have the subject followed by the auxiliary verb in the imparfait form. So that could be either avoir or être. So if it is avoir, it is always going to begin with av followed by the imparfait ending. So I'm sure by now you guys would know the imparfait endings, which is nothing but ais, ait, IONS, IEZ, AIENT, and then followed by the past participle. So in this exercise, you are going to use the avoir verb in the imparfait form followed by the past participle. So look at the first verb, apporter, to bring. It says Meena had brought food. So now here we are making use of avoir in the imparfait form, which is AVAIT. And to form the past participle for ER verb, as you know, you just have to cut ER and add E acute. For regular verbs, this is the general rule. So let's move on to the next sentence where it says, Ravi and Jayanti had bought the plastic cutlery. So now here we have two people, so it's going to be written in the plural form. So we take the ILS ending for the imparfait, which is AIENT. So that's how you get AVAIENT, followed by the past participle. Cut ER, add E acute. The next one, I had arranged the tables. So again, you have the imparfait form of avoir, which is AVAIS, followed by the past participle. So you just cut ER, add E acute. Now the last two sentences, they have given you faire and mettre. So faire as an irregular past participle. So you have to memorize that. So which is FAIT, right? And you have the avoir in the imparfait, which is AVAIT. Similarly, mettre as an irregular past participle, which is MIS. And you have the avoir in the imparfait form, which is AVIONS. So this one means my mother had made the cake. And the last one, we had put the dishes on the table. Now let's move on to the second exercise. So the second exercise, they want you to give the cause of the following situations, making use of the pluscuparfait, which is the past perfect. So they have given you an example. Lalita had stomach pain because she had eaten too much. So similarly, you also have to follow the example and frame sentences as per the example. So look at the first sentence. A child was crying. So you're going to say a child was crying, and then you include the expression of cause, which is parce with the apostrophe here because I is a vowel. A child was crying because he had lost his dog. So again, you can see avoir in the imparfait form. So even this exercise will make use of avoir in the imparfait for all of the sentences here, right? So it's AVAIT followed by the past participle perdu. To form the past participle for the RE verbs, we cut RE and add U, right? And then whatever words are given there, you just write it as it is. So a child was crying because he had lost his dog. The second one, Pritham has received a ticket because he had driven too fast, right? So again, you're making use of the expression of course parce with the apostrophe followed by IL because Pritham masculine, and again avoir in the imparfait form here AVAIT and followed by the irregular past participle of this verb conduire, to drive. So please memorize the past participle for this one, which is conduit, conduit. The next sentence, my little brothers had toothache because they had eaten too many candies. So now here you can see that it is in the plural form, my little brothers. So therefore we have ILS here, and before that put the expression, of course, Pascal with the apostrophe, followed by the imparfait of avoir, which is AV, followed by the imparfait ending AIENT, and it's a ER verb, so you just have to cut ER, add E acute, and then the remaining sentence. So my little brothers had to take because they had eaten too many candies, sweets. The next one, Raghu and Ramesh were sad because they had received bad marks or bad grade. So again, it's ILS. Before that, put the expression, of course, Pascal with apostrophe, and you have AVAIENT, which is the imparfait form of avoir, and reservoir as an irregular past participle. So you need to memorize that, which is REC cedular U. And the last one says Turlock had eye pain because he had used the computer for too long. Again, you have IL followed by the avoir and the imparfait, and it's a ER verb, so cut ER, add E acute. Moving on to the third exercise, they want you to put the verbs again in the pluscuparfait, and they are also telling you to pay attention to the past participle agreement. All right. So they have given you an example. Here is the university that he had founded. Right. So please note that whenever the direct object comes before the auxiliary verb, this past participle must agree with this direct object. In this case, university is feminine, therefore I am adding an additional E. So similarly, let's look at the answers of each and every sentence. Here, construire means to construct. So here is the house that she had constructed for her parents. So again, avoir in the imparfait form, so AVAIT, followed by the past participle. Now, this has an irregular past participle, so it is CONSTRUIT, and I told you, this past participle has to agree with this subject, alright, with this direct object, because whenever the direct object comes before the auxiliary verb, this past participle must agree with the direct object. In this case, house is feminine, therefore you have to put an additional E here. The next one, créer meaning to create. Here is the research center that they had created. Now here, research center is masculine, so there's no change. You just, put the avoir in the imparfait form, which is here, AVAIENT, followed by ER verb. So you cut ER, add E acute. So that's how you get this answer. The next one, agreed to write. Here are a few poems that he had written when he was young. So again, poems, masculine plural, therefore you add an additional S here. And before that, you're using avoir, right, in the imparfait form. The next one, here are the medals that Janaki had received at the university. So here, you have Janaki and followed by the avoir in the imparfait form, and reservoir as an irregular past participle, which is REC cedular U. Now, medals is feminine plural, therefore you have to add an additional ES. And last one, habiter, to live or to live in. Here is the house that Gerard had lived in during his childhood. Now, house again, we already know it's feminine singular here, so that's why an additional E is added here. And before that, you have to put avoir in the imparfait form, which is AVAIT. Alright, so let's move on to the next exercise, which is replace the noun with the personal pronoun EN. Alright, so here it says Professor Laurent knows 4 universities in France. So there is a number here. So whenever you're using pronoun EN, for the number, you should know that you also have to retain the number. So look at the first answer. You put en before the verb. So here connaît is the verb. And when there's a number, please retain the number. In this case, 4. And then you're removing the noun. Alright, universities will be removed, followed by remaining sentence. The next one, she does not want any hot chocolate. So you're removing from de till the last show. And before the verb, you're putting en. So remember that ne becomes an apostrophe here. Third one, I'm preparing one omelette for you. So you're putting en before the verb and there is a number, so you retain the number. In this case, une, so just put une. Fourth one, Sarita buys a lot of French novels. Now again, when there's adverb of quantity, in this case, beaucoup, a lot. So you just retain the adverb of quantity and remove de till français, you remove it and put en before the verb achète. Last one, the little girl drank too much of orange juice. So in this case, when it's in passé composé, you put en before the auxiliary verb and put the adverb of quantity before the past participle. Alright, so in this case, trop, which is the adverb, comes before the past participle. Let's move on to the fifth exercise. Fifth exercise, they want you to freely construct sentences using the given elements and they want you to follow the example. So look at the example. It says, when my friends rang, I had woken up. Alright. So similarly, so you have to frame sentences using the above example. So here I have formed the first sentence. When the phone rang, my sister had gotten up. So that's the first sentence. So in the first part of the sentence, we are making use of the passé composé. So you can see avoir in the present tense followed by the past participle. Alright. And in the second part of the answer, we are making use of plus que parfait. So plus que parfait, you have either avoir or être in the imperfect. In this case, it's être followed by the past participle. The second one, when the guests or the invitees arrived, my mother had prepared the breakfast, right? So passé composé followed by plus que parfait. The third one, when I took the exam, I had reread my biology notes. So again, passé composé, plus que parfait. This comes from the verb prendre, alright? So it has a regular past participle, PRIS. The next one, when the bell rang, my brothers had put their books in their school bags. Again, passé composé, plus que parfait. Last one, when the manager called, my father had not left for work. Alright, so these are just a few sentences based on the above example. You can also write your examples, but make sure the sentences are grammatically correct. Moving on to the next one, which is the sixth exercise. Sixth exercise, they say a friend is narrating to you what she did during the weekend, and you're asking her, to be more precise. They want you to again follow the example. So they are telling here, I have read some amusing articles or entertaining or funny articles. And then the example says, oh yes, which ones? So you must have already known what are the four different forms of, the interrogative pronouns. All right. So these are all called interrogative pronouns. So when it's going to be masculine plural, you're going to use les, que, ls. Now articles, masculine plural. That's why I'm making use of les, que, ls. Look at the first sentence. I have bought some very cheap discs. Now disc, masculine plural. That's why I'm using les, que, ls. The second one, a science fiction film. Now the trigger here is UN to indicate its masculine singular, and for masculine singular you have to use L-E-Q-U-E-L. The next one, I have learned a beautiful Tamil song. Now again, the trigger here for you is UNE, which is to indicate feminine singular, and therefore you have L-A-Q-U-E-L-L-E as the answer. The next one is my cousin sisters. I have met my cousin sisters. You can see the additional E and S, so meaning cousin sisters, feminine plural, and for feminine plural, you should use L-E-S-Q-U-E-L-L-E-S. Last one, I made an important decision, or I took an important decision. Again, the trigger for you is UNE, so it indicates feminine singular. Therefore, we are writing L-A-Q-U-E-L-L-E. Let's move on to the next exercise. So the seventh exercise, again, you're going to make use of the interrogative pronouns, but here you are also going to frame questions using the interrogative pronouns. They've given you an example. He is looking out, or he's searching for the sport shoes. Now, shoes is feminine plural, so you have to use L-E-S-Q-U-E-L-L-E-S and then frame the question. So which ones is he searching for? Look at the first sentence. I am taking the blue jean. So here LE is the trigger, so it is masculine singular. So you're using lurkel. Which one are you taking? Right? Prompt you. Which one are you taking? The second one, she is putting on the boots. Now this one you have to remember that boots is feminine plural, and therefore I am making use of L-E-S-Q-U-E-L-L-E-S, lesquelles. Which ones is she putting on? The third one, I want the shirts. Again, shirts, chemise is feminine plural. So therefore, again, L-E-S-Q-U-E-L-L-E-S. Which ones do you want? Lesquelles veux-tu? The third one, nous lavons les pantalons. Now, pants, we are washing the pants, masculine plural. Therefore, you are using L-E-S-Q-U-E-L-S. Which ones are you washing? Lesquelles lavez-vous? Last one, she is looking out for the saris, or she is searching for the saris. Saris, masculine plural. Therefore, you have to use L-E-S-Q-U-E-L-S. Which ones are they searching for? So, they are searching for the saris. So, which ones they are searching for? Let's move on to the next exercise. So, here, the next exercise, they want you to frame questions and also the replies, the answers with the given elements according to the example. So in the example, they're giving you whose gray hat is this? Raman's, and you're saying no, I think it's Raju's. So you have to follow the example. So similarly, you have the noun stilo. So for the very first sentence, all you have to do is replace this gray hat, this one which is here. Replace this gray hat with the noun stilo, alright, and replace Raman with Rajesh, and replace Raju with Parthiban. So that's exactly which is taking place in the first sentence. Similarly, for the second one, you're just going to follow the example. Again here, replace this gray hat with this one, SAC, sack, which is bag, and replace Raman with Nitya, replace Raju with Nirupam. So that's exactly which is taking place here. Similarly, move on to the last one, because it's very few changes there. You're just, just replacing certain words. So similarly for the last one, potable, which is mobile or laptop, you're replacing again the gray hat with potable, replacing Raman with Vijay. So you can see that here. And replacing Raju with Sanjay. Again, you can see this here. Now, option C and D, there are going to be few more changes because your this calculator is feminine. So for feminine, you should know that, this CE, which is there in the example, will become CTTE here because calculator is feminine. Then again, you're going to replace Raman with Sneha. So you can see that here, and replace Raju with Arun here. And also don't forget that cellui is used for masculine singular. In this case, calculator is feminine, therefore cellui becomes CELL, right? So whose calculator is this? Neha's? No, I think it's Arun's, right? Option D, cahier, notebooks, masculine plural. So when it's in plural, you can see the, this EST verb which is here changes to SONT, and the demonstrative adjective C becomes CES. Why? Because plural. Then you replace this grey hat with notebooks, and again Raman with Pratibha, and replace Raju with Pavitra. And again, another change that you should note, that you can see the C apostrophe EST becoming CESONT, and again cellui from the example gets replaced with CEUX. Why? Because cahier, notebooks is masculine plural, and for masculine plural we have to use this demonstrative pronoun, which is CEUX. All right, let's look at the next exercise. Let's see what is the next one. The ninth one, they want you to frame questions. They're giving you the replies. You have to frame the question. All right. So, j'ai fait du 36. So, it's talking about the size. All right. I take or I wear size 36. So you're asking, quelle taille faites-vous? What size do you take? What size do you wear? And the next one's talking about your preferred brand. So, je préfère Lacoste. So, which brand do you prefer? Quelle marque préférez-vous? The third one, elle cherche le rayon chemise, meaning she is searching for the shirt section. So, I'm framing the question, which section is she searching for or looking out for? Quel rayon cherche-t-elle? The next one, sa pointure est 40. So here again, his size or her size is 40. This is talking about more of the, the shoe size, for example. So what is his or her size? So quelle est sa pointure? Last one, talking about the perfume that one likes. So, il aime le Chanel numéro 5. So, I'm framing the question, which perfume does he like? Quel parfum aime-t-il? Let's look at the 10th exercise now. Now, the 10th exercise, they want you to replace the underlined nouns, alright? Souligner no, underlined nouns with suitable pronouns, and also they want you to pay attention to the past participle agreement. So let's look at each sentence. The first one says, il n'a pas parlé à sa directrice. So he did not speak to his director. All right. So we know that whenever you have a preposition for, in this case, a graph, that to followed by someone. So when you want to indicate to him or to her, now in this case, he did not speak to her, you have to make use of lui, which is an indirect object pronoun, meaning to him or to her. So in this exercise, when you see the preposition, you should know that, you have to make use of indirect object pronoun, lui. If it's singular, to only one person, to followed by only one person, then you use lui, to him or to her. But if it's going to be in the plural, it's going to be LUR, which is to them. But in this exercise, you would not have LUR. I'm just giving it to you for additional knowledge. All right. So the second sentence says, she did not clean the rooms. Now here, we don't have any preposition. So directly you can make use of the direct object pronoun. So here it says she did not clean the rooms. So you're going to say she did not clean them. And remember, when it is in passé composé, the pronoun is placed before the auxiliary verb here. All right. And look at this here. You can see this additional es here. Why? Because this chambre, les chambres, is in feminine plural. Therefore, this past participle has to agree with this direct object when it comes before the auxiliary verb. That's why we are adding an additional e and a s. But in this sentence, you can see that the direct object comes after the auxiliary verb, so there's no change here. But when the direct object is coming before the auxiliary verb, in this case is the direct object pronoun. Therefore, you have to make use of make agreement to the past participle. All right. Look at the next one. The tourist did not visit the historic monuments. Now here we can see that monuments is masculine plural, so you have to add an additional s. So the tourist did not visit them. Again, you're using les because masculine plural. The students have not yet bought their history textbooks. So again, here it's in masculine plural, so you'll put les before the auxiliary verb and also make agreement to this past participle by adding an additional s. Why? Because this one, history textbook, is in masculine plural. And the last one, she did not take the shirts. Now, shirts, feminine plural, and there's no any preposition, so you're making use of the direct object pronoun. You're placing it before the auxiliary verb here. And then look at the change, feminine plural, right? Chemise, so you're adding an additional es. Let's move on to the last exercise, that is the 11th exercise. Here again, they want you to replace with the underlined nouns with a pronoun, all right? So by looking at this itself, you can see, the preposition. So to the teachers, to my cousin. So as I told you earlier, if you remember, if it is to followed by plural, you will have to use leur, meaning to them. If it's to followed by a singular form, here in this case to my cousin, so to him, you're going to make use of lui here, to him or to her. And for the remaining first three sentences, you don't see any preposition, so you will be making use of the direct object pronoun. So let's look at the answers for this one. She is searching, or she is looking out for the silk scarves. So she is searching for them. So you're just replacing it directly with the direct object pronoun, putting les before the verb. Swapna does not like this blouse. Now this blouse is masculine, so you have to put le before the verb. Le now contracts and becomes L apostrophe because A is a vowel here. Sindhuja cleans the kitchen. Now kitchen, feminine singular. So Sindhuja cleans it. So la, alright, direct object pronoun. And as discussed earlier, you can see the students or the pupils speak to the teachers. So to them, you will have to put leur here, meaning to them, before the verb, which is parle. Last one, I'm giving some advice to my cousin. So again, to my cousin, to him. So therefore, I'm making use of the indirect object pronoun Louis before the verb don. All right. So I'm giving some advice to him. All right. That's all for now, and I'll see you all in the next lesson. Thank you and bye-bye.